All right, good afternoon again, and welcome to another Signage live stream. Today we're going to be talking about ArtPlayer in a little bit more detail to understand about what the function of ArtPlayer is and how it works. We've got Morten with us on the line, so we'll introduce you to him in a second. The reason we're talking about this is because there are several different pieces of content that you can pull in from Signage Live. We had our previous stream earlier about content just in general and how that works. And now, speaking to ArtPlayer, we're going to talk about a specific type of content that can be pulled into the platform. And this is going to be beneficial because it just gives you that ability to have a look at some of the variety that's out there and understand, crucially, one of them in more specific detail. So if you're interested in showing some artwork in your locations or your buildings or hospitals or whatever it might be, this will be an interesting video for you to walk through with. So we've got Morten on the line. I'm going to try now and jump over to Morten. Let me just go over to that. Morten, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Excellent. And looks like everyone else can hear you too. So we're in a good placing. So Morten, thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. So Morten, you're going to talk to us a little bit today about the ArtPlayer and how that kind of works alongside digital signage and what the benefits of that are. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes, I will.
Excellent.
Uh,
So what we're going to do is kind of go through a little bit of an overview of ArtPlayer. Morten's got some slides here that we're going to go through, and then after we've kind of talked a little bit about how ArtPlayer works and the functionality and kind of the use cases, we'll show you how you can go and grab that within Signage Live as well. So Morten, if you are happy, are you able to see everything? You can see the screen and everything. It's all set up correctly for you.
I can see everything.
Brilliant.
Yeah, my name is Morten Kreuger, and I'm a managing director for ArtPlayer. ArtPlayer is a Danish company focused on distribution of art streaming and digital signage to workplaces, hospitality, and healthcare. We are located in Denmark and has several customers, and we are right now in the process expanding international through partners like Signagelive.
Perfect. And with regards to ArtPlayer itself, I mean, obviously it's been going for, was it roughly 4 years it's been going for?
Yeah, 4 or 5 years have I been working with this, and especially the last 3 years after we also got funding from Innovation Fund Denmark, we have really got up in motion. Yes.
So what I guess is the main focus for ArtPlayer in terms of delivering content? What's the key reason?
There are several reasons. One, of course, is decoration. You can decorate in an efficient way. If you already have a digital sign systems, you can put art on the screens. You can mix art with your own content. So it's a very smart way to get a lot of different famous but also modern art out in the workplace.
Yeah, perfect. And as we go through this, for those of you that are already using Signage Live, one of the functions within this is it can be full screen as a canvas, just to kind of keep those spaces modern with up-to-date artwork or a rotation of artwork. But alternately, it could also have some other information around it. So if you're looking at having some type of content, a track loop that is continuously updating, that is innovating without you having to actually add in your own input, this can be a really good solution for you. And obviously, whilst you're doing that, you can also have some other elements within the screen displaying social media or RSS or whatever it might be. So the choice, again, within everything within Signage Live is just about how you want to deliver this. So Morten, if we were kind of go over to your slide deck here and walk through what you have to present here, and I believe you've got a bit of a demonstration of the platform as well. Is that right?
That's right. I have a demo of the platform, but also a presentation. Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, I'm going to move over there now, so we should be able to see the deck. So if you want to take it away, I will add my questions in as we go, but I'll let you take the lead.
Yeah. Please go to the next slide.
There we go.
Yeah. What is ArtPlayer? Yeah, ArtPlayer is a streaming service which can stream modern and world-famous art to any screen, but also beautiful nature photos. All artworks are in high resolution, and it comes in random streams. You can choose between different collections, which I will show you later. And it works on PC, tablet, smart TV. But very important here is that you can easily integrate it to any digital signage systems via web link URL. Mm-hmm. And of course, it also works with Signagelive. What you can say is that in contrast to traditional retail digital signage advertising, ArtPlayer is better suited to quiet surroundings where you stay for longer times. And that's why our focus is on workplaces, hospitality, and healthcare. Please go to the next slide.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. What are the value propositions? As I said, you can decorate your workplace with $1 million artworks. We have famous artworks from Renoir, Van Gogh, and studies have shown that if you enrich an office with art, people are happier and work faster, up to 15%, according to psychology professors. Art is also good to create a good dialogue and a stimulating atmosphere in your room. And you can feel calm down, relaxed, and perceived wait time can be reduced in waiting rooms. One of the things we are focusing on is how to use it in healthcare, how to calm people down, and we have done tests where people are afraid of getting blood tests, and we have proven that it works. It calms people down. But also, if it's a dentist, if you have to go to a dentist or flying, yes.
Yep, perfect. Well, I think also what's interesting about this as a choice in terms of content to deliver is, unlike a lot of other content types out there, this is definitely more passive than it is, having to gain information. And you guys are working specifically on things like, calming down environments and making sure you've got a right aesthetic, which is pretty unique in terms of how you may be delivering content today. So for those looking at delivering content for the first time, this is kind of another piece of that may well be something you want to add to your arsenal. Okay, moved on to the next slide there.
Yeah, here you see some different use cases. Up in the left corner, you can see art in the office. Next in libraries, hotel rooms, in-room entertainment, restaurants, the dentist, and also in airplanes to calm people or making people feel relaxed. Mm-hmm. So there are plenty of use cases for ArtPlayer.
All right, do you want me to move on to the next one?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go.
I just brought in some healthcare studies. Here they have a study in emergency department where they have tested displaying art. And the conclusion is that visual art on screen can not only impact patient and visitor behavior, but also the overall healthcare experience. Reduce perceived waiting time, reduce restless behavior, decrease people watching, staring at each other, increase socialization, and decrease front desk queries, and reduce the noise level. So it's a study proven that art is very good to have in healthcare environments.
Excellent. Yeah, I think again, this is another point: is that we are looking at this particular piece of content specifically based around something which is pretty unique in terms of de-stressing and kind of calming down an environment. So yeah, really interesting. Do you feel like healthcare is kind of one of the main verticals in terms that tend to be using this, or is it a real mixed bag, or is there a kind of a key leader
here? Many healthcare institutions are already using traditional art, so they know it works, and now they see opportunities in getting art out by digital signage or other kind of systems. It could be tablets in patient rooms where they can see the art.
Brilliant. Did you want me to move on to the next one?
Yes, please.
All right, here you go.
One another important thing is that the study you saw before is saying that TV programs are ineffective for distraction. In fact, it did not lead to shorter perceived wait times. In fact, the opposite. And in another study, also people disliked TV news, finding it stressful and noisy. So ArtPlayer message is that it's much better to use art if you want to relax people. So don't use TV programs, TV or TV news. Use art instead.
Perfect. I'll go on to the next one.
Yeah. ArtPlayer is a web application, web app, and you just log into it via web, or you can access through a URL, and then you come in to the menu settings as you see there, and you can choose between image settings, music, and other things, which I will show you. Please go to the next.
Here you go.
Here you see image settings where you can choose between image mode. You want landscape, portrait images, cropped or not cropped. You can set on image motion, Ken Burns effect, but also image duration. How long time do you want the image to be on the screen? You can hide violent images and nude images. There's a violent nudity filter you can activate, and there's a lot of art collections, many thousands images you can see.
Excellent.
And you can also put on a ticker in the bottom of the screen, and you can have an info box coming in, as I will show you later. Mm-hmm. Telling you who's the artist and or what kind of art style you're watching.
Right. So you have that information in the artwork itself for people that are interested to learn more. And
please go to next.
Yep, no problem.
And if you want it, you can also put on background music. You can choose between different genres. For example, ambient music, if you want to relax people. You can also set the music speed.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So you've got the tempo changer. I guess that's changing the music to be faster or slower types of music, as in if you sit up tempo, it's going to go and grab something that's slightly up tempo in terms of the whole music style. And if you're going to go with something slow, it will just pick a different selection of music based on the choices that you've selected at the top.
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
Perfect. Excellent. Do you want me to
please go to the next?
There you go. Mood.
This is a very interesting feature. You can decide what mood you want to use. If you want to use calm mood, it will find images which are calming in colors. For example, with blue and green colors. And the music will also be calm music.
Interesting.
And one important thing is this selection sorting is made by image recognition technology. Please go to the next slide.
There we go.
Here you can see you have a happy mood, and then the images and music will be more happy, more warm colors, red, and so on, and the music will be more happy.
Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So that leads us on to the demonstration video that you got here. So you've got a bit of an overview of the platform actually working. If I'm not mistaken, that's actually playing now. Let me pause that. There we go. So If I play this now, Morton, I'll let you kind of talk straight over it. I won't interrupt at this point, just to make sure we don't lose the lose the cadence of what you want to say. So I'll hit the play button just to double check before we do start that. Morton, you're able to see my screen and everything correctly, yeah, before we move on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hit that play button now then.
Yeah, you log into ArtPlayer and you can activate the menu, and then you go into image settings. And as I said, you can choose image mode, but also the speed which the art should change. Here I have changed the image mode from crop images to the original images. Here you can see that you will get blank borders or black borders in the side, but this is the original images. Now I change it again to be cropped, so it will fill out the whole screen. And here we have a motion button, and then you activate zoom and pan effect, can burns effect. Some argue that there's a very seductive effect on this, and people getting relaxed by watching in this way. Other likes the still images. And then you can put on nudity and violence filter. And then we go down, and there's a lot of art to pick from. It can be from Da Vinci to Renoir, Van Gogh, but also different periods of style, like Impressionists and so on. Here you have a Renoir image. It's very expensive, so this is the chance to get it in your own office. Now I pick Van Gogh collection. And this is Van Gogh's bedroom. But we have also other kind of art, more contemporary art. It could be space art, more modern abstract art. We have also cyber art, as you see here, which could look good in office as well. And besides contemporary art, we have also a lot of great nature photos. Now I'll pick flowers. Coming up in a second. Here you see very green flowers. Also, a lot of studies arguing that green flowers are very good in healthcare. And you can also mix the images. You can show art and nature content at the same time. So if you want to do that, and of course mix it with your own content. If you have a digital signage system, then you can build up your playlist as you want. And the next thing is the music. We have different genres to choose from. And now I put the background music on. You don't use background music in many public places, but music is of course also good to put people in the right mood. So combining both images and music is very strong.
By the way, Morten, just so you're aware, I don't know if you can hear it on your side, but it's coming through on the stream.
I can hear you now, yeah.
Perfect.
Now I put off the music. And the next thing is the mood control. Now I put on calm in a second. No, it was happy. I'm sorry, I forgot. And then you see happy artwork with happy colors. And now I put it on sad. And then it will show artworks where the colors are more gray, dark. So you can, in that way, you can set up the mood you would like. And you can also add a ticker. I know you can also do that by Signagelive system, but you can also add a ticker in here. Very simple ticker to display short information. And you can also put on a clock in the right corner below. So you can see what the time is, and you can also choose to deactivate the info box, so you don't see that anytime a new image is coming in.
Perfect. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, that's basic the features. Yes.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you taking us through that as an overview. I'm going to just take a step back here because I've gone too far. There we go. Right, I'm back onto the next slide now, Morten.
Yeah. What you saw, you can sum up in this summary. ArtPlayer is stream art and music by genre, mood, and speed. And you can display calm, happy, or other moods. And you can show it with static images or moving in images, and you can put on a ticker in the button if you want. And very important, you can integrate ArtPlayer very easily into your own digital signage system via URL.
Perfect. Did you want to move on to the next slide?
Yes, please.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, and also important, if somebody wants to try this, they can try it for free, 30 days. They can contact their Signagelive partner, or they can contact me directly.
Yep.
It's up to you, and then we can do a trial for 30 days and help with any questions.
30 days. So trial 30 days. Is there any limit to that in terms of where it can be delivered or anything along those lines?
No, we deliver all over the world. So yes.
Okay, perfect. Again, if you're looking at doing this and obviously testing out the ArtPlayer functionality, then you can get in touch with Morten directly. You can reach out to one of us. Is there another slide that you wanted to show before I go on to the next element, Morten? There's nothing else on here?
I have not anymore.
Okay, no. Perfect. So what I'm just going to do whilst we're here and talking is I can actually go over to Signagelive. So the ArtPlayer app or the ArtPlayer URL and contact details are found within the marketplace as well. So if you are looking at finding out more about the ArtPlayer or you want to run a 30-day trial, you can run that in tandem with a Signagelive trial if it's the first time you're trying it. So obviously there's two different licenses that you'd need there, but if you're looking at starting from scratch, you can get a Signagelive trial license from us, and we can also get you set up with the ArtPlayer trial as well to work with them in tandem. They actually both happen to be 30 days, so it actually works out very well. So if I go over to the ArtPlayer link here, you can then find the details within the marketplace. There's some more introductory videos if you need them, some example content, and contacting ArtPlayer here. This button will take you straight over to the ArtPlayer site, and you can learn a little bit more about ArtPlayer in general. I appreciate that, Morten. It's been really useful having you on here. I think it's interesting to do these kind of deeper dives into pieces of content that's available. From a Signagelive perspective, the end result here is just a URL which we'd be putting into a playlist or rotation, or potentially just a playlist on its own to run all the time. So when we're actually talking about the end result for Signagelive users out there, it's really simplified, and it's no different to adding in an image or a video or another web page that you're already running. It just gives you that bit of benefit of being able to control it at your own pace via ArtPlayer to make that content change as you request. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Morten? Does that cover everything you wanted to discuss today?
No, I had not anything more to add.
Perfect. Well, Morten, I appreciate having you on today. It's been really useful. If anyone watching this wants to review it or send it over to someone, this will be archived, so you'll be able to find it in the playlist and previously. I appreciate you, Morten, coming on, Morten. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, I will say the same. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, well, that was Morten and from ArtPlayer. And again, if you want to get in contact with him, there'll be a link in the description of this video. Or if you want to talk about anything else specifically, then you can reach us out at Signagelive and we can have a further conversation. Next week, we're going to be talking about proof of play specifically and digging in deeper as to what proof of play does. Proof of play, for those that don't know it, is about tracking and logging when content appears on your screen and being able to report that back. So very useful for advertisement, very useful for those kind of promotions. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll be speaking to you again next Thursday. If you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to us. I'm going to go on to the QA session as we normally do now. So if there's any questions, then drop them in now, and we will be able to respond to them in more detail.